Now on Sunrise and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, a plane carrying over 200 people in India crashes. We'll share what we know this morning. And a wait list to buy a U.S. visa is open. We'll share more on the $5 million path U.S. visa seekers can now take. Plus, we take a look at a new study giving a voice to the voiceless.
And this morning, we are once again tracking a lot of thunderstorm activity this morning that will likely be raining for the rest of this morning, causing us to issue one last alert day. All those details coming up in the weather.
And 3 Victoria West football stars ready to compete in top-level football all-state game in Stafford, Texas. We'll highlight all these athletes later on in sport.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning, Crossroads. It's been a busy morning across the state with this weather. We're hearing reports of water rescues in the San Antonio area.
That's right, and also Houston as well.
And Houston as well. And did I hear correctly, 9 inches of rain?
Yes, you did. We have received locally some part of the Crossroads more than 9 inches, and we're actually approaching 10 inches. And some parts of the Crossroads. We're going to look at that rain totals map here in just a second, because starting out with the radar this morning, it is quite rainy and stormy. I'm sure you've noticed, maybe possibly that's why you're tuning in with us this morning, because you got woken up by the thunder. And in fact, speaking of thunder, let's turn on the lightning. Look at all the lightning that is out there this morning. We have got a plethora of it that is surrounding Matagorda County, eastern Matagorda, I should say, right now as we speak. That's heading up there eastward towards Brazosport, probably over the next half hour or so. Otherwise, lots of lightning activity around DeWitt County, and also lots of it just southwest of San Antonio, to which this is along a line that is slowly approaching us for the rest of the morning. We're going to look at that in a second, because first, looking at that storm that's over Matagorda County, you can see it is still slowly exiting our counties as we speak. Matagorda is our cutoff point for the Crossroads, but if I turn on the winds, you can actually see this storm is rotating a little bit, so I would not be surprised if the Houston National Weather Service issues a possible tornado warning tag for that little storm right there. Green is inbound toward the radar, red is outbound away, so you're a little bit of rotation there. But looking over Victoria County, you can see a little bit of rain starting to form to our west, so Victorians, make sure you can expect a little bit of rain probably over the next 5-10 minutes, and lots more over the rest of the morning. Otherwise, north of us in DeWitt County and lots of Lavaca County, we have a flash flood warning that was issued for an additional 2 to 3 inches of rain coming our way, and they are also rotating a little bit. So we're going to be watching these storms very closely over the next several hours, because this line is going to continue bringing us more rain over the next several hours. And like I said, if you didn't believe me in terms of rain, 9 inches have fallen already in much of Matagorda Bay. So if you're headed out the door for your Friday Eve Thursday, expect a little bit more rain for the morning before it cuts off. All those details coming up next.
Breaking this morning, an airplane crashed in India's northwestern city of Ahmedabad this morning. Air India said the crashed aircraft is a Flight 171, a Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner with 232 passengers and 12 crew members headed to London Gatwick Airport. Smoke could be seen billowing from the crash site near the airport. Air India says people on the flight included Indians, British, Portuguese, and Canadian people. Fatalities are unknown at this time, but they're saying that many people have died, and we'll also hear from the Prime Minister later on today. 2 Victoria teens aged 15 and 16 are reported missing after leaving home without permission. They were last seen around 5 p.m. Tuesday at their home on Linwood Drive. The 15-year-old is 5'7", 180 pounds, with long dark brown hair and tattoos, including a heart on her left hand and the name Devon on her left thumb. The 16-year-old is 5'4", 150 pounds, with long dark brown hair and a green and black rose tattoo on her left hand. Both have been entered as missing in national and state databases. It was a busy day for job seekers looking to take their next step in their careers. Workforce Solutions hosted a job fair Wednesday featuring over 200 open positions and drawing in 125 attendees. Director Henry Guajardo says the key to finding a good job match is finding something that aligns with your schedule, fits your skills, and brings a sense of fulfillment.
We are very pleased that we had that many job seekers come out to apply for some of the positions that are currently open with these employers.
Missed yesterday's job fair? No sweat. There's still plenty of opportunity knocking. Job seekers can swing by any workforce center in the Crossroads area to get the help they need. Alderman Paul Gonzalez is staying on Seadrift City Council despite questions over a potential legal misstep. A letter sent to 25 News Now claimed Gonzalez may have crossed a legal line in his duties. He admitted the accusation initially made him fear he had broken the law. The issue stemmed from bypassing the city attorney for information request. The waitlist to sign up for a Trump card visa is now open. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick posted about the news on social media with a link to the website. The Trump card is a $5 million visa that would give foreign nationals the right to live and work permanently in the U.S. Lutnick has said the card would replace the government's EB-5 immigrant investor visa. That program grants green cards to immigrants who make a $1.8 million investment into the U.S. or $900,000 into economically distressed zones. Helping people speak without saying a word. A new study shows artificial intelligence can give a voice back to people with paralysis, one that sounds nearly like their own. Here's ABC's Andrea Fuiji.
This morning, a breakthrough for people who've lost their ability to speak due to ALS or a stroke. Researchers at UC Davis have found that artificial intelligence can turn a patient's speech-related brain signals into an audible voice.
This is really very good.
In 2023, Casey Harrell was implanted with sensors in his brain, and using his speech-related brain activity, the system was able to decode his words. First, they appeared only on a screen, but after more than a year, the system can now speak for him.
I will get there as soon as I can.
Doctors who led the study say it's life-changing.
That first moment when he tried to say a word and it appeared on screen, we had to pause because everyone in the room, including the research team, including me, started crying with joy.
The technology also allows Harrell to vary his pitch from low to high.
They.
Doctors say this is just the beginning of their study. They plan to enroll more people and work to give patients back their voice.
There's a lot more work to be done, but it's very gratifying to know that you're helping this person and making this new technology possible.
Doctors say right now, just over half the transcribed words from the patient are intelligible. But within a matter of years, they hope to reach 100% and eventually make this device commercially available. Andrea Fuji, ABC News, New York.
Wednesday, Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. appointed 8 new advisors to the CDC's Vaccine Advisory Panel. This comes just 2 days after he removed the previous 17-member panel, citing conflicts of interest. The revamped panel, which helped shape the national vaccine policy, includes several outspoken critics of the government's COVID-19 response. They're expected to meet later this month to review guidance on COVID-19 and HPV vaccines. Remember, follow us on YouTube, Crosswords Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. The time now, it's 6:38 on our Thursday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up next on 25 News Now Sunrise. A fiery scene in Hawaii. One volcano erupting hundreds of feet in the air. Will bring you the details.
I'm ABC's Perry Russom in Washington. Another night of curfews in Los Angeles as we are closing in on 1 week of anti-ICE protests. That story coming up.
And also coming up next after the break in the short-term forecast, we'll take another look at your radar to see where all the heaviest stuff is this morning. And also coming up next, we'll take a look and see when this rain will cut off. Well, good morning, Crossroads, and happy Friday Eve Thursday. Looking again at your radar, we still have lots of rain out there right now. And looking at where the heaviest stuff is, it's still located east of Matagorda County now. It's actually starting to exit our county, heading up into, actually, I think I'm going to correct myself. I think this might be Galveston County, but I might still be mistaken. Otherwise, we still have a lot of rain that's coming up through DeWitt County and coming up into Victoria, our city, probably over the next 5-10 minutes. to which it will likely be raining very heavy in Victoria over the next probably hour or 2 hours. So go ahead and get that umbrella out and make sure to keep it on you for the rest of the morning, because we're going to look at why that is here in a second. Because looking at your rainfall totals earlier, I was talking about 9 inches of rain have fallen. Just going to reiterate the fact that this is the case. 9.1 inches have been recorded over around Matagorda Bay, and I would not be surprised, like I said earlier, if some saw 10 or more inches of rain around Matagorda Bay. A bit of a rainmaker out there this morning, but the good news is we had some rain over the watersheds of San Antonio. They got over 7 inches, which is why they're actually dealing with some serious flooding concerns right now, them and also Houston as well. So if you're going to be traveling either to San Antonio or Houston, or really just northward, anywhere northward for that matter, make sure to, I would honestly advise to delay your travel probably by a few hours, because this rain is going to be ongoing for the next several hours because of this outflow boundary right here that is starting to enter DeWitt County. That's going to continue sinking slowly very southward over the next several hours, which is why we have one last alert day in effect for all 13 of our Crossroads counties today. Here are those details. Y'all can expect an additional 2 to 4, maybe even 5 or 6 inches of rain on top of what we already got. Strong winds up to 60 and pocket change size hail measuring an inch or less in diameter, but the rain is going to be the main threat today, and you're going to see why right here. Here's your future tracker: 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m., noontime, and finally sometime around 1 or 2 p.m. we should start cutting off the rain, back to some mostly cloudy skies, and rain activity will continue diminishing for the rest of this weekend, and the heat will return. But I want to let y'all know we're still in hurricane season, and Aztec Ford is in Goliad is helping make sure your family is ready when the power goes out. And I know a lot of us are having power outages this morning. Aztec Ford is giving you the opportunity to win this free generator. Just come to crossroadstoday.com, click the drop-down menu, then go to entertainment, then contest, and enter the Storm Ready Power Giveaway.
This weekend, there'll be a top-level all-state football game that's going to be held there this Saturday at Stafford, Texas. Now, before this game will take place there this Saturday, I caught up yesterday with 3 of the All-Stars that are going to be competing there, and Darius Garcia, Drill Vargas, and Devin McKinney, about how they are feeling going into that All-Star game this weekend.
And just like put in work, like, because the hard work will pay off, so just like keep working out and paying attention.
Definitely academics. Academics is key. And I'm really just trying to get on JV because I know it's kind of hard to make it varsity as a freshman, but academics is always first.
From the older guys and just seeing what they do and just watch from the sideline and be ready when my name is called out.
Now, through all these All-Stars, you could tell they're all pumped there, getting ready there for this Saturday. Again, it'll be there in Stafford, Texas. And again, all these guys as well are going to be headed in their freshman year of Victoria West, which again, they'll be in the football team starting up there in 2 months. And this is Max Williams, 25 News Now Sports.
Another night of curfews in Los Angeles, where they're closing in on 1 week of anti-ICE protests. ABC's Perry Russom is in Washington.
President Trump arriving at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. last night to a mixture of cheers and boos as he defends his decision to deploy National Guard troops and Marines in Los Angeles.
If I didn't act quickly on that, Los Angeles would be burning to the ground right now.
Overnight, more anti-ICE protesters detained in L.A., the 6th night in a row of civil unrest in a small condensed part of the downtown area.
99.99% of people who live in Los Angeles City or live in Los Angeles County have not committed any illegal acts in connection with this protest whatsoever.
Protesters seen running as mounted police move in, clearing the streets, enforcing another night of curfews. Overnight in Seattle, police clashing with demonstrators. ICE intensifying their sweeps across the country. Agents seen chasing workers through a strawberry field in California.
Shame!
In Pennsylvania, 1 man detained at this construction site. And in Nebraska, dozens arrested at a meat production plant. Back in California, a hearing is set for today after Governor Gavin Newsom sued the Trump administration, trying to block the use of the military to enforce federal immigration laws.
California may be first, but it clearly will not end here. Other states are next.
Lawyers for the Department of Justice now calling that lawsuit a crass political stunt. All of this happening ahead of the military parade this weekend right here in D.C. It's going to be met with what's being called the No Kings protests. They're going to be happening across the country, but not here in D.C. The White House says they do support peaceful protests. Perry Russell, ABC News, Washington.
And that leads us to your viewer poll. You can scan the QR code to take part. We want to know, do you support the intensifying ice sweeps across the country? 70% of you say yes, and 29% of you say no. 1% of you say you're unsure. Thank you for taking part in our viewer poll. The Kilauea volcano in Hawaii put on a fiery show Wednesday, spewing lava high into the air. The U.S. Geological Survey said the latest eruption began at 11:57 a.m. local time. The agency added that lava fountaining from the volcano had reached heights of approximately 330 feet. Most eruptions last for around a day or less. That's according to the USGS. The time now, let's get a look at our clock. It is 6:47 on our Thursday morning. Still to come on Sunrise, the CDC is making more changes. We learn what the future will look like for over 400 employees. Okay, it's time to celebrate some birthdays. Happy birthday to Sterling. Happy birthday. Dada loves you so much.
Oh, look at that sweet picture. Happy birthday, Sterling. And also happy birthday to Michelle. I want to wish my mama a happy birthday from me, Jason, and the kids.
Happy birthday to Melanie. Wishing my granddaughter Melanie a very happy birthday. She's stationed in Japan with the Navy. Love and miss you, my granddaughter.
Happy birthday, Melody, and thank you for your service. And actor Dave Franco, brother of fellow actor James Franco, is turning 40 today. Happy birthday to Dave. And to see your birthday wish live on 25 News Now Sunrise, just come to crossroadstoday.com. Click the drop-down menu, then click the Home tab, and then you'll see Submit Your Birthday Photo.
All right, the time is 6:48 on our Thursday morning. Happy birthday if you're celebrating one today.
That's right, happy birthday. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, good morning, Crossroads. Looking again at your radar, we still got lots of rain going on. I'm sure you've noticed that this morning. Most of the heaviest activity, I should let you know, is starting to move out of Matagorda County and into the southern Houston counties. You can see right here just south of Travis County, but also over to Witt County and Lavaca County, we have this big old plume and big old cluster of very heavy rainfall and also lots of lightning activity that's starting to move southward along the leading edge of that outflow boundary that we've been talking about all morning long. That is coming off of that low pressure system that we've been talking about all week long. Now, another thing you're probably going to notice on this radar, something very odd is happening with the Houston radar. I think that the thunderstorm is actually moving right over the radar, and the radar is like right around here somewhere. So I think that's exactly why we're having a little bit of an anomaly happening with that radar. There's no purple, there's not hail like everywhere over Houston. Don't worry about that. But there might be some small hail. We'll let y'all know because we do have a level 1 out of 5 marginal risk for severe weather for all of our counties today. That extends all the way up into the Houston area and all the way down south into Corpus, where the main risks today are going to be for the severe weather-wise. It's going to be damaging winds gusting up to 60 miles an hour at times. Large hail, pocket change size, I'm thinking maximum of an inch in size or less. And also tornadoes cannot be ruled out. But the main risk for weather today is going to be heavy rainfall, flash flooding possible, because our excessive rainfall outlook has been upgraded since yesterday to a level 3 out of 4 moderate risk for most of our counties. But the good news is that shifts away from us as we go into tomorrow, Friday, going up into the East Texas Piney Woods of East Texas area and Arklatex area, before the low pressure system moves away, and we're looking at the heat coming back next week. This low system is exactly why the rain is going to be cutting off going into the week in time, because it's going to push away from us. But the good news is that rain is a good thing, and the real good news is that we got a hefty amount of rain. We're talking 7 or 8 plus inches of rain just west of San Antonio in the watershed, which should lessen our drought conditions. And if you're looking for more good news, anything in the tropics, probably not going to form. And we're going to look at all that and more later on Sunrise, and we're going to keep on tracking the tropics all season long because it's hurricane season. And speaking of tracking the tropics, the Hurricane Tracking Guide is here, and you can stay prepared and stay safe by picking up your copy at several locations. You can find your copy of the Storm Prep Kit at Full Pep in Cuero, El Campo Cycle Center, Palace Bingo in Victoria, Coastal Bend College, Went Services in Victoria, Victoria All Sports, and Aztec Ford in Goliad. So don't wait, get yours today.
Hundreds of workers who were fired from the CDC are getting their jobs back. A spokesperson at the Department of Health and Human Services says more than 450 jobs will be reinstated. That's about 20% of the 2,400 CDC employees who were dismissed. The cuts were part of a massive reorganization in April. Some of the workers focused on HIV, lead exposure, and workplace safety. The HHS spokesperson didn't say why those jobs were reinstated. JP Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon is warning the economy could soon deteriorate due to the president's tariffs. He spoke at a conference Tuesday in New York. He noted how consumer sentiment and Wall Street have both rebounded since the president unveiled expansive new tariffs in early April. However, Dimon said it's actually hard data such as job growth and inflation that determine how an economy is faring. He said the true impact of the tariffs will most likely begin to show up in the data over the coming months. Still to come on Sunrise, news to know before you go. A new update from the NTSB after a deadly collision earlier this year. This just in, City Police Commissioner tells AP there appears to be no survivors from the Air India airliner that crashed. The flight crashed a few minutes after taking off this morning. Over 240 people were on board at the time of the crash. We have more posted on this developing story, this tragic event on crossroadstoday.com. The National Transportation Safety Board expects to complete its investigation into the Washington, D.C. mid-air collision by the tragedy's one-year anniversary. On January 29th, an Army helicopter and an American Airlines jet collided near Ronald Reagan National Airport. Members of Army Aviation and the NTSB briefed lawmakers about the investigation into the incident. The Justice Department issued a legal opinion stating that the president has broad authority to cancel or revoke national monuments. It challenges the Antiquities Act, which previously protected monuments from being rescinded. The memo may support efforts to remove protections from lands for fossil fuel and energy development. And we want to invite you to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV. Just search for Crossroads Today Plus. And while there is breaking news across the globe, we have breaking news here in our own backyard with the weather. Parker, how is it looking out there?
That's right, Carolina. We have all sorts of breaking weather happening this morning. I mean, look at the radar. We've got a lot of thunderstorms talking about this morning. Don't believe me? I'm going to turn on the lightning. Look at all the lightning out there this morning, y'all. A lot of it concentrated in that thunderstorm complex that is starting to head east-northeastward towards Galveston County at some point over the next probably half hour or so. Otherwise, looking at where the heaviest stuff is in our counties, we still have a flash flood warning in effect for all of DeWitt County, good majority of Lavaca County and our eastern parts of Karnes County, where y'all are expecting an additional 2 to 3 inches of rain possibly over the next hour, as this outflow boundary, which is causing all the rain this morning, is still very, very slowly sinking southward through our counties. You can actually see we have another isolated storm that just formed southwest of Beeville. So y'all over there, get ready for that. Otherwise, look at the scary looking clouds on the Victoria camera out there. Very low level, I should say. I'll let y'all know it's going to rain for the rest of the morning. Up until about 1 or 2 p.m., we'll start seeing rain decrease down to 81 degrees for the afternoon. And then rain activity will begin to decrease all the way for the rest of this weekend. And the heat is back next week.
Thank you, Parker, and thank you all for being with us this morning. Our hearts are with those people who have lost their lives in that tragic plane crash in India. We'll have more on our website. Stay tuned for tonight. 25 News Now at 5, 6, and 10.